Now,
We're
Right
live.
now.
hello, hello, the three of us.
Gosh.
This week's
Troy,
episode.
Troy, if you'd have shared this episode to the
I know it could have
masses,
been many more people joining us right now.
check it out, everybody. All
All
right,
right.
I can't find the link now.
How do you find the link? Just
It
You go to the
is
YouTube page and then it should be live and then
right.
blank, unless it's.
Is it not there?
I don't see it. I see a private video. Oh, that was our old video. Oh, here we go. You have to be not yourself. There we go.
Mm,
Okay, posting it in Slack. There we go.
dope.
Let's
cool.
talk about the Oscars.
All right.
Oh, you're
Okay.
watching? You're watching us live again?
Am
Yeah.
I?
You can't watch us backwards.
Nah. Okay, let's do it.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jordan from your. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan from Your Film Playground Podcast, and on this episode, episode 6, that is, we're going to talk about the Oscars. Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves yet again. Who do we have here? We have from Siege Cinema, Chris.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
I'm
And then-
doing good.
And then we have ultra dope photographer Troy.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Doing well.
Shooting some
Excited
art.
to talk about the Oscars.
Oh yeah. I'm
You
pumped.
got you
Oscars
shooting some art this week?
are Sunday. This is the Super Bowl of every filmmaker or every establishment filmmaker. We're
Yeah, not
anti-establishment.
particularly.
Technically.
I've been watching
All right. I'm just trying to.
the
We've been
There
trying
we
to.
go.
I've been
Alright.
watching the Democratic and Republican debates lately.
Entertaining.
Yeah, they're
Dude,
great.
these things are like UFC matches. I laugh so hard. The
I
one
missed what happened with Rubio and Trump and Cruz.
it was like one was trying. Rubio was trying to. It's funny. We talk about it like it's reality TV. We talk like, oh, you should have seen.
Actual reality.
You
Yeah.
missed. Oh, you missed it, man. You missed it.
Yeah.
No, it was like Rubio was pounding Trump about his healthcare plan, and he had nothing to say. He said we're going to remove the state lines and create competition. And he's like, well, is that it? Is that it? He's like, well, yeah, that's it. That's a great plan. That's all you're gonna do for healthcare.
It's like, what is that? Who's
great plan.
gonna lead that? How's that gonna work?
Great plan. Great plan.
You have no
Oh.
idea what I'm talking about with the lines. He just doesn't know. That's what I saw. But
That's crazy.
Funny as shit.
that's
And
the
then-
entertainment for the week.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
Oscars are Sunday. What do we all think about the Oscars? I mean, I'd say I'm about 2 or 3 years from getting to that level. What do you guys think about it so far in your indie levels?
I have to say I never watch it. I never watch the Oscars. I think the only time I've ever watched the Oscars was the year I remember the Les Mis cast was performing. So that must have been 2012. Other than that, yeah. Other than that, I never really watch it.
Are they gonna live stream it?
I pay attention to the winners a little bit, but like it's the winners of Best Picture are all movies that I don't really care about watching, like Argo, 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, Argo was so fun though.
Yeah, I mean it was fine, but I'm never gonna see it again.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it. Yeah, are they films that are sort of separate from like what the market wants or like what the average consumer likes? Are the Oscars reserved for a special elite class of filmmaker or cinemaphile? I guess.
Tarantino movies.
I'm getting a lot of echo right now. From
Yeah, who's echoing?
Is it me?
Does anyone have like a second computer pulled up or something?
No, it shouldn't be me.
Is anybody watching themselves on this live stream?
I don't believe so.
Nah.
Plus, we have our headphones in. That's weird.
Right. Yeah, we shouldn't be echoing.
Check 1 2.
Wait, do you still hear? Because I don't hear echo right now.
Well, it went away. Oh, there it goes.
Dang, it is kind of there. It's fine.
I don't hear it.
All right, all three of us are
whoa.
going to go on mute. We're all going to have 3 separate conversations at the same time.
Okay, I'm
not
muting.
muted anymore.
Check 1 2. Check.
I'm not muted. I am not muted right now. I'm not the echoey one. I can't be.
I'm muted. All right, now I'm unmuted.
Clearly.
I'm just like, where?
Okay.
All right. Anyway, back at it.
I think we're good. Okay, so are the Oscars for the average person, or do you have to be an English literature PhD to understand?
No, they're
Oscar.
made for public consumption and entertainment. It's what it is. It's an award show. It's dressed up like the Grammys. Did you see?
No, not the Oscars award show itself, like the types of films that go into the Oscars.
Well, they also pay respect not on the grand stage, but there's like 100 different categories for best like I think there's even like a student film category. It's
Is there?
yeah, like there's a bunch of these,
They're
you know,
short.
yeah, there's like a bunch of random categories. If you look them up, let's see.
That aren't like the
That aren't
key
broadcast.
ones,
I
the
don't like the
marquee
Grammys.
ones.
Yeah, so best title writing is one. Academy Award for Best Art Direction, Best Engineering, Best Comedy, Picture Direction, Academy Juvenile Award, which is special honorary Academy Award bestowed upon I don't even know. No words in the Wikipedia description make sense. So I don't even know what that means.
So it's almost like it's an Oscar for almost every facet of the filmmaking process.
Right.
Or type of film.
I didn't even realize that it was that because I knew there was things that were mentioned that weren't the marquee ones that you don't see on TV, but I didn't realize they had like that specific or even like a student film one. That's new to me.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see a particularly.
Or how does a student even get into that category or get
there's-
nominated?
There's a few. So there's best short film animated and best short film live action.
Mm.
I don't think there's a student film category, at least that I don't see. But again, I'm looking at 100 different.
I think there is.
Best short.
It's probably
Okay,
like,
and then so
it's probably like one of those like special categories like way off to the side. Like they probably don't even mention it in any case.
then there's best short subject comedy, and then best short subject color, and best original music, best Academy Award for best original musical, which I don't think exists anymore.
I was gonna say because I mean they have let's see. Well, at the Emmys, they have like best musical or comedy, right? And then they have best drama. Whereas I think at the Oscars, it's like all lumped together just as best picture.
Are the Emmys TV and film?
Yes.
Okay, I always get those confused. Emmys
Right.
are TV and film, Grammys are music, the Golden Globes are TV only.
Oh wait!
Are they
I'm
really?
sorry. Golden Globe is what I was talking about. Emmys are for TV. Golden Globes are both TV and film. I get confused.
Oh, you're right, because Revenant won Golden Globe.
Right, and then
I was gonna
didn't
say.
Matt Damon won a Golden Globe, and so did Leo, but they're both in the same category. It's kind of, from what I understand, I mean, I honestly,
It's a participation trophy.
Yeah, like I haven't seen Golden Globes in a long, long time.
Did you
But
see Ricky Gervais's speech, at
no,
least?
his like
I mean,
monologue.
oh
That
my
was,
God, it's
I love that
hilarious.
one.
It was so funny. They're just like,
Good.
they keep bringing me back, and I keep winning these
I
Golden
hate
Globes.
this. This is the worst.
and he's just like, these don't even mean anything. Like,
Right.
it was so funny.
All right, Chris. Well, I think we can talk about the Oscars in a bit here, but I think just to kind of bring it to ourselves and stuff, you have been filming this week. Like you
Yes, I
filmed
did.
your
I
short
did
film,
shoot.
and I think I would love to hear about it. I mean, we can talk about the Oscars and a little bit, but I definitely know there's stuff on your mind about it and stuff, and I want to hear what it was like for you this week.
Right, I'm still in the middle of like detoxing from it because that was a crazy experience.
Okay.
Like, it's funny because like it's the first time I really directed in a really long time, and the first time I would consider it an actual like a real set that I directed. Other than like high school productions and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's very different, like the atmosphere from director to crew member. Like even just being a DP, you're still one of the crew, and then director, you're just sitting there saying yes, no, maybe that, but how about this?
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was at Crafty. I was alone at Crafty at one time, and one of the crew members comes down and says, "So how you doing?" And I say, "Man, this sucks. I can't even like talk to you guys. Like I'm here like doing nothing, and I don't have time to like, because like if I'm like gripping on set with like which I've done with like all these people that are now on my set.
Yeah.
Like, there's always downtime where you're just like sitting down. There was one set where we had like 3 or 4 hours of downtime while they're working on this one big setup, and we were playing like cards and a board game. So like that wasn't happening on my set, but like
You gotta sit at
there was no
the
downtime for
officer's
me.
table.
Yeah.
Can't
Right.
fraternize with the enlisted men.
So
you're
if there was
you're
anything,
above the line now. You can't go below the line, man.
yeah, right. It was
Petty
it
shit,
was very interesting being treated. It was funny. My gaffer, I guess he's really official. Like there was one time where he was like he was setting up the Dana Dolly alone, and I go to help him, and like he's just like, no, it's not your job. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is union set. Don't touch it.
And I'm just like, okay. And I see him. He's putting together like the speed rails on the Dana Dolly just alone, and I'm just like, I'm gonna screw this. He's like, no, don't touch
Dude,
it.
that's I mean, it is true though. I mean, that is the crew's job, but if anyone should be accountable for not having anyone helping them, it's the gaffer or the AD. Like you should be focused on just performances and answering, questions from people that are
Right.
slightly higher up.
Right.
But I mean, you really shouldn't be helping set up a Dana Dolly.
Well,
You
no,
get-
I was just available. It was like right in
Right.
the beginning of the shoot where like the actors weren't even there. I guess I could have been up near camera, but
You were just
but
trying to
like
learn
I just saw him. I was at Crafty talking to a few like crew members for like a second about something. I forget what the situation was, but
Are you getting called yes sir, no sir?
no.
Yes sir, right away. Right away,
Mr. Chris, right away.
Mr. G, yes.
It was not. It wasn't like that. I would never. I hate that.
You
I
show
hate
some
that.
respect when you're
All
on my
right,
set.
so okay, two things. First
Yeah.
of all, what did you learn from the experience, and how do you feel about it now that it is? I mean, you're in post-production now, but the actual physical production, like, obviously we know you're tired, you're beat, you're detoxing and stuff, but what did you learn from it, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, what I learned from this one was pre-production is literally everything. This is we really spent a lot of time doing like overheads and drawing out all the lighting setups, majority of the camera setups. We did a really like detailed shot list that even when we were deviating from, we were still on schedule because we knew exactly what needed to get done and the coverage we needed, and the most important thing is that we knew exactly where every single light was going to be placed before we got there day one. So that was a takeaway. That, but I'm trying to think of things that I learned while on set that like I wasn't really expecting. How I guess the triangle that is camera placement, directing, and the actors. That was a little bit like it was never really a big problem, but there was like one time in particular where we were shooting like a flashback scene where I get up there and camera's placed and it's placed in a position where I'm just like, okay, well, what are we going to do with blocking now? So it was placed in a position where like I figured that he wanted it set there. The frame was really good, and I wasn't sure in my head what I was going to do with blocking. And that was the only time I got a little like, I wasn't flustered. I was going to see how it was going to play out, and it would be fine. I would either have him on this side of the room or that side of the room. It's fine. But it was the only unplanned thing, and always blocking first. You always do blocking first, and then camera comes second, and then lighting comes third.
I was just about to ask that. What was your order for that? For your shoot?
It's always that. It's always that blocking first, camera second. Because here's the thing: if you do camera placement after you do the lights, then you're gonna have that flag in frame, or you're gonna have that C-stand leg in frame. But if you do blocking first, then you know where the camera can go, and then you know where the lights can go, so they're not in the shot. And there are, yeah.
Oh, we usually do blocking, lighting, then camera, and then if there's like a C-stand slightly in the way, there's always a grip around, just like slightly move it out of the way. So.
Right. I guess that's a different way. I don't know. My key grip teacher always says it's always lighting after camera placement, just for that. And then you shoot starting out wide and then move into the close up. Just
right. More
so
coverage.
You have to rearrange lights.
Getting coverage.
Well, it's not even the coverage, but it's more like if you shoot wide, you know that's the widest it's going to be, and that if no lights are there, you don't have to move them. Because if you start with a close up and then you go wide, oh, that C-stand is right there. Now you have to move it and adjust the lighting.
Continuity is going to be very different.
Exactly. So, that was interesting. Most of our lights, though, however, were outside of the house. So we did have lights that were inside, but most of our light came from blasting a big wall of light, Kino flow, like through a silk and making it look like daylight pouring in. And we have some really, really pretty looking shots.
Nice.
I'm really excited about
Those
that.
are the coolest looking shots. When you put like just a CTB on it and just shine it through the window. That
Nice.
nice sunlight effect.
I didn't even put any gel, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so, well, I mean...
for the Kino flow with the sunlight.
Daylight settings.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Just swapped out the bulbs.
Yeah.
So you're exhausted at this point. It was a good experience, but you're tired.
I mean, I'm fine. It was a week ago tomorrow that our first day of shooting was, and we shot 8 pages or 7.5 pages in 2 days, both 12-hour days almost.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
And a lot of it, like, it was very quick moving. And the thing with it though, I was like pretty self-conscious the entire time because, like, I just wanted the crew and cast to like me. Like that was my main goal.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know? And because they're like, because I just wanted to be liked and like do things correctly and whatever. And obviously not step on anyone's toes or whatever. But that was like a prominent focus. The first day, like, that was really going through my head. Second day, not once, because it was very easygoing and
Right.
the flow. Everyone was comfortable and knew what exactly they were doing.
So were you more focused? Would you say were you more focused the second day and you were able to like perform better, like to sculpt the performances and whatnot? Their questions.
I don't know. Like the first day was the more important day, so that might be a little bit with the reason for like my nerves and whatever. Like because I had like a lot of expensive like makeup going on and like things had to be done at a certain time because like we had to shoot this much before the makeup's done because after the makeup's done we have to shoot the makeup stuff. But that's going to take 3 to 6 hours, and it took like 5 hours to do like the makeup process. And there was a time where we needed the makeup process to stop so we could shoot before they finished the makeup with the makeup person. Like
Yeah.
it was very scientific. Like there was a stage of the makeup where um, we needed the makeup at one level, and then for the rest of the movie, it needed to be at another level of
Mm.
the, of the makeup and prosthetics. So we had to time everything correctly. So we had to shoot um, a very defined schedule that we actually did a very good job at sticking to.
Good.
There wasn't a lot of waiting around ever, and if there was, it was like 15, 20 minutes, and we just cooled off and got ready for our next setup.
So my second question was going to be, do you think you want to continue directing at all, or do you want to just focus on shooting?
Oh man, directing sucks. I hate it. But I hate directing. I like
Okay.
the end product though. It's nice to say.
Okay.
But like so for that case, like I don't think anyone's ever had fun directing a movie. It's miserable. Don't do it.
What's usually, or like on this set, what was your decision-making process? Were you relying on what you had laid out in pre-production, or was some of it intuition, or were you relying on what other people around you were
You
giving
know
you
what?
advice? Like
So
how did you make your decisions? Because that's what directing is, just making
right.
decisions.
It was very strange, and if you asked me before this question, I would have said that I'm very like on it and very like I know everything that's going on, and I know exactly how it needs to be and all that. There were times on this set where I was just like nothing was in my head except for like actual direction. So there were times I'm like, what scene are we on? Like I kid you not, it was very strange. It was because
Yeah.
I'm never like that. I'm never even when I'm like shooting somebody else's movie or a grip, like I'm always aware. But like there are times where I'd have to be like, okay, so what are we doing now to my AD? I can't explain it because I'm usually like the most organized person in the room. But like this time I was very I'm very reliant on my crew to
Yeah.
do their jobs, and which they all executed like with 110% effort. It was
Oh, that's
incredible.
great.
So I did put all my trust in what we did in pre-production, and then I relied on the crew, which I obviously trust and have worked with all of them for the last 2 years at least, and like I knew that they would do their job. I knew they would do it well. So that's what my decision process was like. So that was a little bit interesting
Did
for
you
me.
work off of a monitor, or did you
No,
watch? No?
majority of okay. So sometimes you have to look how it looks like in a monitor, um, which we did have a monitor. We had one the viewfinder, two we had an external monitor.
Hmm.
Um, but primarily like I remember there are just times where like the Dana Dolly's set to like 3 or 4 feet high, and I'm sitting at the base of the Dana Dolly looking up at my actress, and like I'm not even looking at the camera because I trust my DP that he's doing a good job, and I trust that he says, Chris, check this out, look at the playback before the next take, that he'll show me something cool, and I'll be like, oh, that's really awesome. Primarily, I was focused on the performance because I know everyone else is doing their job. I know I could trust everybody else's judgment. And if I did have an idea, like there are times on set where I had an idea, can we put this on the Dana Dolly because I want this effect? Or can we have this on sticks or something like that where I would talk to the camera. But usually the first thing I do after I yell cut, I go straight to the actress and give her my thoughts and notes so that before the AD even calls, okay, 30 seconds for notes or something like that, 15 more seconds for notes, I'm already done my ideas and notes, and then I could go to the DP while they're resetting how that look.
Nice.
Because when you do that, like, imagine yelling cut. You're looking at a monitor in a totally different room, and then your actress is just like, or actor is just standing there, and you're like, what?
They're
What
looking
do
for
I do
feedback.
now?
They're looking for something.
Right. They're looking for answers, and if you're able to like provide like feedback and at least acknowledge that they exist and they're not just there for that cut and then they're ignored.
Yeah, you're the safety net for them to so that they know that they're doing their job right.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So that's what that was my experience with giving
Good
direction. What I
man.
did during my takes.
Well, that's also good that you were so immediate to go to them. So almost to kind of like keep them in that zone, like keep them in that mental
Yeah.
space, give them some notes, and then go work with the other crew and let them kind of process that and get ready for the next take. I like that
Right.
process. I like that
Right.
immediacy.
'Cause I worked with like directly. Let's see who did I work with? I worked with three people directly. I worked with the DP, the AD, okay, production designer, my script supervisor, so four people directly. And then like my gaffer, I barely like spoke to him, and we're
Yeah.
we're close,
Probably
but
typical, yeah.
but like I barely like everything he needed to do went through the DP. Like if I said okay, like everything that like all the light setups, if he needed this light moved or that light moved or whatever, it went through the DP. I never gave direction to the for the light
Hmm.
ever, not once actually.
Did you now for performance wise, a lot of it you guys discussed beforehand shooting, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But while you guys were shooting, did you give the actor any liberty to kind of like try a couple different things? Like, okay, we got it, we got this certain emotion, or this we did it this way. Why don't we try it this way? Did you kind of wing it a little bit at times to see if you could get something different that you didn't expect?
Um, so I'll start with the, I guess, quickly breeze over like the rehearsal process and then like go into like what we actually did on set.
Hmm.
With the rehearsal, I had one rehearsal with my actors, and then with both the actors combined, I had one rehearsal. It was actually it was the day before, and it wasn't even for a long time. It was just an hour. We just went through the script, and there were just some like not like awkward scenes, like not like a romance scene or something like that, but just like awkward movements and blocking that needed to get done, and not like so that they get done and laughed at in this rehearsal, and they're not done and laughed at on set when there's 10 other people around you,
Right.
and so that you can just get rid of that initial awkwardness, um, and I think I'm really thankful that we had that rehearsal because we just squeezed it in. It's very important, even when you don't have dialogue, which my movie doesn't have a lot of dialogue. It's really important to have that rehearsal in.
Hmm.
Um, and so when we're actually on set, yeah, there's a lot of times where I felt like the actors did something like creative and interesting that added to the performance. I'm all about them giving suggestions. I think everyone, when you get involved, I think especially when you're not like being like paid and like you're not paid for your services, I think like any form of movie, everyone has slightly like a little bit of like creative control because it's time to like step up your game and like contribute to a project, not just be like what's the word? Not a slave to it, but like just a pawn in it, you know?
Hmm.
It's not just my movie; it's their movie too. So they're
Hmm.
able to be creative
You
and
think
think.
if they're unpaid, they're more creative? Or you think if they're paid?
No, I think you owe them if they're unpaid. I think you owe them a little more creative control than if they were just like
Okay, as a right. Okay.
service and time. You know.
Yes, just empowering the people around you, people beneath you, to be better than you. But just almost just a kind of basic leadership. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
never
So
thought about that.
I think everyone deserves a little bit of creative input. Like for example, there were times where I would have like where my actress would like say something that might have been like a suggestion that I wouldn't see like Leonardo DiCaprio making to Martin Scorsese.
Hmm.
But like I welcomed it because we're all learning. I'm learning too. I'm not a professional.
Hmm.
She's not a professional. And like it's just like this creative process where we're all coming together to make this thing.
Nice. Cool.
Well, hell yeah, this sounds like an awesome film. When is it? What's post production looking like?
Oh man, so much. I started cutting it a little,
Yeah.
not too crazy,
Are you doing
but
the editing? Are you the main
I
guy?
am. I am.
Sweet.
I'll edit it. I'll probably color it. I'll see about that. But I'm probably going to color it, and then I have a very talented friend that is going to do sound design, and I'm going to have somebody score it as well that I've worked with a lot before. And it's gonna be. I'm really excited. The thing though is I just have, excuse me, right now I just have a series of shots, and there's a series of shots like they're not gonna edit together. Like if it's a comedy, maybe you'll edit together. I've had experiences where I'll make a comedy and it just like fits perfectly. I have to literally construct suspense out of nothing. Well, not nothing, but like a series of moving pictures.
Right.
And that's going to be the toughest thing I've ever done. So if I'm able to pull that off, then that's really cool because I don't know too many student films that have been able to do that.
Yeah, the beginning steps of post-production are always scary because you're just like, I have all these raw materials, none of this goes together, and okay,
Right.
like let's try to make something out of this. Even if you know the story in the script, you're like,
Exactly.
There's assemble the parts. You have the Legos now build the spaceship.
yeah, it's like,
Where's the instruction manual?
no,
It's up here, man. You'll get it.
You're right. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a good process. I'm looking to have a rough cut done in the next 2 weeks. Actually, I'm jumping right into it.
So when can we expect it to be at the Oscars?
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know the Oscars, but yeah, it'll be seen late April, early May, and then over the summer it'll be on YouTube.
Nice, man. Well, we look forward to seeing it. I'm stoked to see it. I can't wait to see this movie of yours.
I'll have to send you guys screenshots. There's some really good shots there. It's a really pretty looking movie. At least I know, like the worst case scenario, it won't be a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just I just have to fight to make it a good movie. So
there you go. There you go. Well,
sweet.
We're pulling it for you.
All right, so I want to shift the conversation just a little bit away from the Oscars. Before we dive fully into the Oscars, I want to talk about Anchor app with you guys.
Yeah, I just got someone replied to me on Anchor.
Where
I'm like anxious to see it.
So I downloaded Anchor about a week ago, and I finally convinced you guys to get on there. I'm taking credit.
You absolutely deserve all the credit for that.
So Anchor is a social network, but it's audio only, and much like Twitter where you can reply in text form, it's all audio. So you have to say the question, you have to say your post, record audio of whatever you want to say, open question, open conversation, and then people have the option to talk to you, essentially, have like these spaced out conversations. So what do you got? You guys said you had some pretty cool moments last night. You were talking about.
I didn't have the conversation that Chris did. I mean, I know he has stuff to dive into, but like, I think it is freaking awesome. Like, I didn't expect it. It almost like when you download it and you start using it, it almost like takes your hand. It's like, come along with me on this journey as I like teach you how to do this.
That's the best intro experience I've ever had on an app.
It was so great. Like the experience of like starting, I was like, holy, this is amazing. Then I started thinking about like, what is this? Like, what is this platform? Is it something that's going to work? And I was like, this is going to work, I think. I mean, it's essentially a Q&A thing. Like, I don't think any other social media is like, yeah, Twitter to a certain extent, but
Twitter
it's like so much more. It's so much more like personalized, though. It's like you're hearing people talk. You're hearing the inflections in their voice. You're just. It's so much of a more personal and I think easier way of doing it because I mean you literally just pick up your phone or mic, whatever you're doing, and it's like say something, and then you can say something back. I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a radio call-in, you know, like in radio, like on radio stations when they do call-ins, they I think the app's like really cool, and it's only a couple months old, and I'm really excited to see what it does. I mean, I just downloaded it last night. I had a lot of fun with it.
I think it's going to be really big once South by Southwest comes around.
Do you think so? Is it big in
South by Southwest is in March. Well, South by Southwest is like apps to like startup culture, technology. I foresee March 15th. It's kind of like shoot up big time, 10x.
Nice. Okay.
What like Periscope and Meerkat did at last year's South by Southwest.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're the social media master. I feel like. So
You gotta
I'm
stay
gonna
on top
take
of
your
it.
word as like the guru. So
Yeah, I feel like I feel like people aren't going to be as mean. I think everyone is super respectful. Like everyone's like, "Thank you for your response, Chris," or blah blah blah. I'm glad you think that way. Well, I also want to add to that. Like I don't think anyone's going to want to sound angry. They
I don't
can
know, man.
It's almost
I
too
think
nice
that's
sometimes.
coming. Yeah, that's coming.
You think that's coming? I don't think that's
Oh
coming.
yeah, I think you get the wrong or not wrong people, but you get the right people on there.
I want to see
And
some.
they're gonna be like, dude, what the you're an idiot. Like, I guarantee you that's coming
Yeah.
because that happens on Twitter. That happens everywhere.
I want to see
Right,
some
but
Taylor
at the
Swift
same
beef.
time, there's something about having your voice out there that's more
That's
vulnerable.
true. The anonymity is the veil of anonymity is a lot less, but there's still a little bit.
Right. Very true.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I do think some people just don't care necessarily, and I think that'll come, and I welcome it. I think it could be funny.
Trolling.
How many times have you guys found yourself re-recording or like doing like take 5 of a reply?
Not that often.
Because you have
actually
2
been
minutes to
pretty-
make a post and 1 minute to reply. And
Yeah.
I'm always just like, hey, what's up? Thanks for replying.
Well, they sound
shit.
good, man, when you're saying stuff. I mean, I personally have done fairly well so far, which I'm kind of surprised about. Like, I usually kind of stumble on my words, but so far, so good.
Yeah, I've had fun. One thing that you mentioned when I think, in previous chats, I feel that it's a lot more slower to consume than other social networks. Because Snapchat, you can just like flip through. Twitter, you can just scroll through. Instagram, you can just scroll through. These, if you have to actually dedicate a minute to 2 minutes per media that's displayed out there.
Yeah,
Right.
That's interesting.
the fastest I can go is I listen to the first 10 seconds of a clip, and if they ramble on too much, then it's like, all right, next.
Right.
But if you really want to use the app and like dive deep and actually be a contributing member to the conversation, then you have to seriously consume it.
Now,
Right.
do you guys think, I mean, yes, this is like a film conversation. Now, do you guys think this is something that could help with film at all? Because, I mean, we're talking about a social media platform for sound, and film is typically a visual medium.
I've been trying to find filmmakers on there. I think we're getting there. I honestly think I could get a job through Anchor.
Yeah.
Like I
Okay.
think
what?
I think it's that personal of a connection.
Yeah, I think so too. I met this cool guy on there. His had a British accent.
It's automatically cool.
Right. His name was Crispin, actually. And ooh,
I think I listened to that conversation.
I just got a reply.
Nice.
I can't wait to listen to that now. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I had a conversation with this guy. He rambled on a little bit, and like I lost it. But like one thing that stuck was he said something about like relating poetry to film. So I replied. I was like, so do you have any specific examples of how like poetry can relate to a visual thing like film? Like, do you have any? I'd like whether it's names of films or just examples. And he just said like a few things. He says like there's a lot of Japanese poetry that would translate really well to like art films. And one example he said that I mentioned to you guys was how there's an image of a beak and an image of somebody's eye, and like those two just don't work together because you're like, ow, my eye.
Right.
So like I wonder how that like that was just something I've never thought of. We've all thought of
That's juxtaposition, essentially.
right. Well, I guess I have thought of that because we've all used the example of like seeing the somebody eating a sandwich and then cutting to a man's like blank face. You could infer that the guy's hungry.
Yeah, whatever that Russian guy's last name effect is.
Oh yeah. I forget, but
I know exactly. Yeah.
No, but go ahead, Chris.
I don't know. I don't know the name of the effect, but it's just something you pick up on in film school.
Right.
That in editing, you just that's just how it works. Juxtaposition, I guess.
Yeah. That's cool though. I mean, yeah, I think the whole idea of the Q&A, I personally think it could be huge for film because, say for example, I mean, this is a long shot obviously, but say someone like Roger Deakins gets on Anchor and is like kind of somewhat active on it, because he's actually fairly active in.
Dude,
like, he has his website.
His website is so cool.
Yeah, it's like say someone like that gets involved.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the cheapest website looking ever. But
it looks like the shadiest thing ever, like that it was built in the 90s. But
it's a very active cinematography forum.
Yeah.
Any question, Ari Alexa versus Red Dragon, and Roger Deakins will go.
He's very active on it.
We use this for James Bond. I like this image better. It's kind of works in this situation. Thanks for replying.
Yeah. So like, but for example, say someone like Roger Deakins gets on Anchor. You have a question. You hit him up with one like, hey, I'm thinking of using this diffusion for this light, and this is the scene. If you're a fairly good communicator and you can get a decent question across, like, and he responds, like, holy shit, that's amazing.
That's
like
big time value.
That's really cool, and I don't know. I think it could be awesome.
I think that's what the three of us should be doing on that now. Just like reaching out to amateur filmmakers and just talking about, should I put a frost on top of the gel or behind the gel?
Okay, I have an answer.
Color, then diffusion. I promise you.
No.
No.
I have an answer. Listen to this. Because the diffusion could stay on, but what if you want to change the full CTV to a half CTV? Then you have to take everything off again.
What if you want to? Often you change the diffusion more than you change the color.
More depth.
You change the diffusion much more than you.
Throw this up on Anchor.
I think it's. I don't think it matters. I think I'm a fan of.
Well, here's the thing. Color temp typically is 5500 or 3200. Those are the two color temps you're typically working with. So you're going to know your color temp. You're not going to. I mean, when we shoot, we always use light meters. So the thing is we're like, oh damn, we need like one more stop out of this. We can either scoot the light up, or what's quicker, throwing up some different diffusion here. Throwing up the diffusion, I mean, that changes. That happens a lot more than changing the color. So that's my contribution.
I'm telling you, throw it on Anchor, guys. I have a question for everyone out there.
Yeah. Okay. Color or diffusion? Yeah. There we go.
I'd love to hear your replies.
Yeah. But
Chris, I will agree with you. It is a little too polite out there. It's very like, oh, hey, what's up, Chris? Oh man, I 100% totally agree. You're absolutely right. Anyway, great job. Let me.
Do you ever get nervous listening to a reply on there? Like, not nervous, but like this feeling, like
strangers calling you.
Yes, kind of. It's like that. Yeah,
hey, Chris. Nice to meet you, man.
That is true. I kind of have that feeling right now with the reply waiting for me. Although it's my first reply, so I'm kind of excited. It's like a date.
There's creeps everywhere and there's scammers everywhere. So even on Anchor, it's like, hey, what's up? This is Living Great Social Blog. Thanks for following me. It's like, you are a living product. You're not a real person.
You're not a human being. Stop kidding yourself.
Startup 101. Come on. Follow me, man. It's like, dude, no.
So do we want to talk about the Oscars? I've personally found that the conversations that we have today so far about our personal stuff that's going on and things like that have been more interesting than the Oscars. But
let's get to the Oscars.
Let's just like briefly talk about it, because I mean, whatever we predict and we think is going to happen really doesn't matter, and that's all going to, in 2 days we're going to know. And so yeah, but Oscars.
I've been watching a lot of conspiracy videos and a lot of
What kind of conspiracy videos? What are you talking about?
Like those, not BuzzFeed type videos, but in that same universe of how the Oscars are rigged, or how the Oscars are more political than they are about meritocracy. That there are people that pay 20,000, 50,000 per film. These like sales agents to kind of lobby the Oscar, the Academy members. And if their film that they were hired for wins, then they get like this huge bonus on top of it. So there's incentive to like, I know that this Academy member, he really likes, transgender romantic comedies. I'm gonna push this towards him. Hey man, you should really vote for this.
Yeah. That I believe, honestly, like it is a business at the end of the day. Film is a business, and lobbyists are things that exist. I could see that being a thing that happens. Like that's not a far-fetched conspiracy kind of thing.
I mean, let's like break down the benefits of the Oscars, of winning, of becoming an Academy Award-winning blank.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Inarritu is like huge up on my list now because he won an Oscar last year with Birdman, and because I saw Revenant and I enjoyed it. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the dude won an Oscar. Like I can't lie, it's psychological, but I can't help how I feel.
and it's for life. I mean, it's like winning a Super Bowl. You're always going to be a Super Bowl champion. You're always going to be
that's very true.
An Oscar-winning actor, Oscar-winning director.
Yeah.
Even
so
if you make.
Are you going to play the game, get your hand a little dirty?
What do you? Oh man, I totally lost what I was going to ask. What'd you think of The Revenant? Like officially.
Ooh,
The Revenant. So I finally broke my theater streak. The last movie
I finally saw it.
The last movie I saw in theaters was 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Long time. I've been just boycotting the whole theater experience because of
Why?
price.
Okay, that's a bigger question, but okay.
Well, price and if you're in the filmmaking world, you realize that they're always going to be making movies. They're always going there's always going to be another movie to be made. And if you can wait 10 months, if you can wait 11 months, then it's going to be on Netflix. And if it's not really that good of a movie, why pay $25 to go see it when I can just wait?
Right. Unless it's kind of like unless it's a cultural experience. So the two movies I saw was Star Wars, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Jordan, you haven't seen Star Wars then? I'm guessing.
I haven't seen Star Wars. I'm kind of like I am. I guess like I don't know how you say it, like anti-cultural or something. But whenever it's
really into Star Wars.
Yeah, when it's hyped up like that, I'm just like I don't want to sit in a crowded theater and then applaud at the end of the movie.
We call that a hipster. You're a movie hipster.
Oh god.
No, in like the only time I would go to a movie unless somebody else is paying for it, which doesn't happen, or I work at a movie theater, or I used to work at a movie theater, which doesn't happen anymore. Was like for a cultural experience. So like Harry Potter 7, Star Wars, Hateful Eight, and 70mm. Like other than that, I don't think I'll see Batman vs Superman. I might see Deadpool just because it's in a sense a cultural experience. Like it's part of like I read it on Reddit every single day.
Yeah.
Right.
I might see that if I can.
Is it cultural is it cultural like you want to be a part of the conversation? Like you want to be in that water cooler conversation?
Yeah, kind of like I feel like if for example, Star Wars, like I just feel like me and all my friends, like being the 1 billion people that are gonna watch Star Wars in next year, I feel like it's like being a part of that collective is really cool. And being a fan of it, or Hateful Eight, being part of that collective that wants to go experience something that they won't be able to experience ever again, in the form of like Hateful Eight being in 70mm in a theater near you, when really before that it was only like 10 theaters here and there in New York City, Philadelphia, big Los Angeles, big cities. So that was big. And then maybe Deadpool, I wouldn't really call it. Maybe just because the ads were good. Maybe that's why I want to see it. But
it's a big deal because of how much money it's made as a rated R movie and on as low of a budget and stuff like that. So.
That's very true. What was the budget? Do you know?
It's like $50 million. It's made like $550 million so far.
That's insane.
Nice. And probably on the Hollywood books, they probably said they took a loss.
Yeah. Okay, so how did you feel about The Revenant, though? Because you did see it.
Okay, so I saw The Revenant last Monday, and it took me a while to process it. And I just wanted to blab it out last podcast, but after watching it, it's in a way I was disappointed, but overall I thought it was probably the best film of this year.
Okay.
In a way, it was disappointing because my whole like going to the theater for the first time in 2.5 years. This is big. You know, I would never go to the theater
The movie.
unless it was a really something that I felt compelled. Like this is art that I'm gonna go see. It was okay. Oh, it was okay in the sense of the story, but all the other components combined.
Yeah.
Greatest movie of the year.
Okay.
See, so I watched it on the small screen on my monitor in my room, and I was like next to the bed. So whenever Leonardo DiCaprio got cold, I was able just to look over 2 feet. I was like, I'm safe. For me, no, it was everything I wanted it to be. Like it wasn't more and it wasn't less. When I first saw the trailer like last year, I was like, that's Leonardo DiCaprio playing Leonardo DiCaprio, but 40 minutes into this movie, 30 minutes into this movie, I was not thinking that was Leonardo DiCaprio. I was really down in the trenches with him. And you know, me thinking that for a year just completely went out of the window, which usually doesn't happen, but it did with this movie. And it was a contrary. It was more like Tom Hardy. I was like, look at Tom Hardy being evil. Look at Tom Hardy, you know.
He was so good, though.
He was fantastic, but
his
like
accent,
in my head,
his accent was almost there. The kind of like
I loved it.
Old American accent.
It was like, I think it was like supposed to be. I feel like they worked on that so much, like worked with like a linguist and like to find out exactly.
Come on, Glass! I'm talking to you, boy.
I can't even.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, boy.
Yeah, I can't question its like legitimacy. Like it seemed legit to me. I feel like with how as good of an actor Tom Hardy is, and and how good that team is, like I thought it was probably genuine, but who knows?
Yeah, the Harry Potter guy, Domhnall
Gleeson.
Domhnall Gleeson, yeah. He was great too. He was really good.
Right.
What was he in Harry Potter?
He was Ron Weasley's cousin, or brother.
Oldest brother. You know, the dragon wielder person that they always talked about, but didn't show up until the last movie.
Was he Percy? Not Percy. Was he Percy?
No. Older than Percy.
I got you.
Yeah, but he was that guy.
Well, I thought the story was great. Like the whole plot was, a fight for revenge. Like just passionate. Like he has nothing to fight for but getting his revenge. I mean, he's nothing left in his life. And, that's a pretty compelling point for a character. I thought a lot of the character political situations were cool. How I forget Tom Hardy's character's name now.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
But how his actions played a role with the settlers and
Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Right.
And how he was just nasty, but he was nasty in a realistic way. He didn't feel like an over-the-top villain.
Right.
Would you say that?
And you saw his motives.
Exactly. His character, all the characters that was, I think, one of the best parts about it was the motivations of the characters, because that is a tough movie to like nail the motivations, stuff like that, because it would be very easy for you to just be like, Tom Hardy is a fucking asshole, like screw this guy. But like I kind of felt that, but at the same time it's like, all right, I understand, like he's sick of it, like he's sick of being in the cold, he's sick of the world that he lives in. He wants to just get home, get done with his job. Like it's just a job. Like I understood that, and it's kind of weird, but yeah.
No, yeah. If you'd put yourself in 1830 with there's no police out in Wyoming, you could just murder a guy, walk away, and pick up your $300 check and peace out to Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's gonna track you down necessarily.
It's funny. I think you guys like the movie better than I did.
Yeah, so you took your girlfriend and you said, I mean, it's a gory
Yeah,
ass film. It's a gory ass film.
it was okay. I mean, first of all, that bear scene though, holy
Oh wow.
crap, that was incredible. Like, it was excruciating to watch, but that was incredible to see. But
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like,
I'm just thinking about it. I'm just
yeah,
thinking
you're
about
just like, oh god. But no, I mean, it was definitely not the best movie to bring her to. Especially who she is, because she's more sensitive, something like that. But anyways, yeah, I mean, you can't discount Emmanuel or not Chivo Lubenski's skill. I mean, the dude is just on another level because I mean, he's probably gonna win again this year, and that's 3 in a row because his style from movie to movie is appropriate. You can tell it's him, but it's different enough in each
Yep.
one, you know? And the way that he moves the camera as like a character to like that's the best part about him that I mean so many people in student film stuff like that try and shoot wide. But the difference that Chivo does is Chivo goes in close. So you get the emotional impact. Like
yeah,
you
he's on a
see
24 mil, 18 mil, but he's right up.
wide, like you get the landscape, but he pushes in, so you still get the emotion. Because without pushing in, it's like you don't get the emotional impact. So the fact that he does that is beautiful. Natural lighting. I mean, what can you say about that? It was a logistical nightmare, I'm sure,
Yeah.
which it was. But like,
Cloud. Hang on, everybody, wait. Okay, ready.
well, they use 40 by 40s in Patagonia, so it's like, imagine tying that down.
Jeez.
You know, like having it just Anyways, so
Or hiking it in. How about that?
yeah, just like, all right, like we gotta move it. Oh god. Well, that's why you do like hitches and stuff like that, so you can move stuff. But so yeah, it was beautiful. However, I am the kind of guy that I'll be the first to tell you, Star Wars is like my jam. I love huge blockbuster movies.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, The Revenant just technically beautiful, acting amazing. Everything about it technically was brilliant. I kind of got bored though. It's like for me, it's like it wasn't. I mean, you respect the hell out of the movie and what they did, but for me, it just didn't do anything like right here. Like, yes, emotionally, I was there for Leo, great performance and stuff like that, but I was exhausted, which I'm sure was on part of directing. Like, they want you to feel almost exhausted at the end, but it's just, I don't know, you know.
I totally agree. There was probably 30 minutes in the middle that could have been taken out.
Mm-hmm.
That whole I'm trying to think the scene where he meets the Indian who's eating the buffalo meat and like puts him up in a shelter, and then he just disappears.
Yeah.
That probably could have been cut out.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of the flashbacks seem kind of like off-putting and unmotivated, but I mean, kind of got what they were going for.
They're stylistic, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I don't put that in my movie now. That kind of just like no fade to just like immediate dream sequence.
Yeah. So I mean, it was. I enjoyed it, but I think. Wouldn't it be something if Mad Max won Best Picture and Best Directing? Because that movie, like, it was fun. That's another movie that I don't like as much as other people, which is kind of weird because everyone thinks I would love that movie to death. But putting that movie together, holy hell.
Yeah. Did you guys hear or watch the video on how it was shot, or how the cinematographer had what his like #1 philosophy was for shooting the film?
Mm-mm.
They put an X in the middle of the screen, or probably already on the display, and he said every major part of that shot has to be in center frame. So reactions, the wheel spinning, the gunshot, the huge caravan of cars, everything had to be center aligned, so that if you're looking on an IMAX, you're not having to turn your head all the way. You just focus on that central point.
Right, because they had so much going on as it was already that if you had to look around at the main action, that would have just probably almost made
annoying.
You sick. Yeah, it would have been annoying. So
I thought that was a really a smart technique. It's almost a higher level. Like you're beyond the film. You're thinking about the audience experience.
Yeah,
you're not thinking about the film. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Dope.
What other movies have you guys seen?
Oh, I've been bad this year. I mean,
Hateful Eight. Has anyone seen that?
which one?
Hateful Eight.
I wanted to see
I have
that.
not seen Hateful Eight.
That's
Oh,
one I can wait.
man,
That's one I can wait for Netflix or
honestly,
HBO.
yeah, you could wait. It's a movie, like, I definitely think it deserves to be a nominee. I loved it. I thought it was incredible.
You saw it in 70 millimeter?
I thought the writing. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was weird. It was really weird to experience that. Just because like there were times where like the screen like you would see the projector flicker, like the edges on the screen, and there were scratches on the edges of the screen and things like that. Which felt like, but it was a very interesting looking movie. It's not going to win best cinematography. It doesn't deserve it. I mean, it's well shot, but I thought the acting was incredible. Everyone acted superbly, and I feel that it definitely should be a Best Picture nominee.
There's like how did you see the extended version? Because isn't there one that's like 2.5 hours and one that's like 3 hours?
No, the 70 millimeter version has like 6 minutes more of footage.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that 6 minutes went in, but it's slightly extended. It might just have a longer overture or something like that. But yeah,
I wanted to see it. I just didn't get around to doing it, unfortunately. I mean, I've got a lot of different things going on, so but
right, yeah, you could totally wait. It's not a movie you'll watch every year. You'll watch it once every 5 to 10 years or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie, well acted, and there are some moments in that, like the end of the first act is so, oh my god, like something crazy happens.
Nice.
Like basically a character tells a story to another character to piss them off, and just that's the story, and then what happens, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. As you could imagine in Tarantino.
Tarantino.
I'm trying to like what's more ridiculous than a Tarantino? Like what's setting the bar? Did he set the bar higher than like Django or Kill Bill?
No,
Or Gore and Blood?
Oh, Gore and Blood wise, yeah.
Like cutting that nuts off.
Yeah, it's a really gory movie.
Alright.
Yeah, I just feel closing remarks on Hateful Eight. I feel the first act is like a traditional Western. The second act is a Tarantino, what the hell is going on movie. Oh, you know what? No, the second act is basically a giant clue game. Like, who did it? They present a problem at the end of the first act, or the first half of the movie, and then the second act or half is like all like who did it, you know. And it's really cool to see how it plays out.
Dope. I'll have to check it out.
All right, dudes. Let's wrap up with our sports predictions for Super Bowl this Sunday. Let's just go down the line, and then what are your
Super Bowl?
What are your predictions for the Oscars, and maybe like a quick why?
Oh man.
I gotta see the nominations again.
I think. Okay, let's see. I gotta see the noms too.
So we can go reverse order. We can go Best Picture starting.
Let's go reverse. Let's start from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff. All right. Well,
we'll just do like writing. Yeah.
Sound editing.
Well, I hope for writing original screenplay that Ex Machina wins, because that's like, I think that's either my first or second favorite movie of the year. I don't think that's gonna win though. I think probably Spotlight will win that.
I hope for Ex Machina. I don't know anything about Spotlight.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Spotlight, and I haven't seen Bridge of Spies yet. But I think.
Wait! I want to go with Inside Out.
That would be cool.
I think Inside Out's gonna win screenplay.
Okay. I could. I mean, that was technically put together very well, and I'm glad it's nominated. But yeah.
We're gonna have to watch this video on
effects?
Sunday to like double check our scores.
Yeah.
Whoever wins.
Right.
Okay,
So I'll go. I'm gonna go with Bridge of Spies.
Okay, I'm going Spotlight, and then
Inside Out.
Inside Out. All right. Well, three different things. Okay, and
Let's do
then
visual effects.
do you want to do adapted screenplay?
That
Or-
doesn't count.
Okay.
Moving on.
I've literally seen none of those movies.
Okay.
Visual-
Um,
See, Ex Machina was
Oh,
pretty. That's like a pretty like.
It was really well
Yes, I
rotoed.
can
They
win.
rotoed that whole thing. That was no green screen.
Right, but it didn't feel like spectacular. It felt like
Yeah.
it's very normal
Yeah.
VFX.
Revenant or Star Wars or Mad Max.
I'm going Star Wars on this one just because the pure amount and it was all pretty
Yeah.
damn seamless. I could see Revenant winning and I could see Mad Max winning, but I'm gonna go with Star Wars.
The
I'm gonna go Star
VFX in The Revenant was actually what sort of brought me out of the movie. Because if
Oh.
you look at the
Wow.
buffalo running around, if you look at some of the deer or the animals, very like blurry and
Anatomically odd.
very
Okay.
fake computery. I was like that's
Hmm.
not as fake as shit. Like they can afford
So
it.
we're going
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Okay. And I think we can all agree sound mixing and sound editing Star Wars, right?
Mad Max.
Revenant. Have you seen that on No Film School?
I saw
Revenant had yeah, you saw that video?
that.
It's close.
The
The thing I
non-diegetic
like-
random
I'm going
cricket
Star Wars.
sounds.
Does sound mixing include score?
No. Best
No,
original
yeah.
score is its own thing. That's gonna go to Hateful Eight.
Right. All right. You think?
I'm going-
Okay. Well, the sound mixing. I feel with the score combined with the sound design, is it's like it sounds like the same. You don't know when the score stops and nature begins with it. I think that's what's unique.
Wait, what is the difference between sound editing and sound mixing? These are two different categories.
Okay, I think sound editing is like the timing of the sounds. The mixing is like what are
The
the actual
levels.
sounds. Yeah,
Okay. Like layering them and stuff like
exactly. Yeah, and that's why I think Star Wars is gonna win that because the sounds they created in that were amazing for mixing, and I think the timing of it was really great.
Right.
that. I'm going with Mad Max. If you can combine heavy metal, guitars, flames, high-powered engines, all
Yeah.
sounding like within a canyon, then
Yeah.
you've done a great job.
So I'm doing Star Wars for sound mixing and sound editing. I'm doing The Revenant.
Okay.
Revenant.
Short
sound
film. Didn't see any of
No,
those, but
I'm doing
Best
it.
of luck.
I'm reversing it. I'm
I want-
reversing my.
I want to see Everything Will Be Okay.
oh,
Short film animated. World of Tomorrow I saw on Netflix. That was really good.
I can't vote for either of those because I don't know shit
It's like
about any of them.
7 minutes. It's like stick figures and like the message is powerful about
Production design.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
That's
production
Mad Max.
design. Mad Max.
Danish Girl.
Danish Girl.
I don't know anything about it really, but I know it's a lot of
Period
ornate
piece.
period piece. Those are always tough to pull off, especially like royalty.
I
kind
feel
of
like you're gonna be right
Victorians.
there. I feel like you're gonna be right on that one, but I'm still gonna go Mad Max just because. Yeah,
Do you want
It's
to
gotta-
skip original song and go to original score?
yeah, let's do that. I think
Original
Hateful Eight
song.
for original score.
Now, see, I don't think the Academy would like Tarantino scores because was there rap music or was there like any kind of like
No.
heavy alternative in Hateful Eight?
This is the first Tarantino movie with an original score.
No Rick Ross.
No.
No
there was-
Wu-Tang Clan. No
No.
the
It
RZA.
was all original. The overture in the beginning is incredible. It's really good. You should YouTube that. It could win. Sicario had a good score. Star Wars
Sicario
does
was
not
so
deserve to be there.
So okay,
does not-
Star Wars: The Force Awakens it has much more subtlety. You have to listen to it. It's different enough, and I think subtle enough that it should at least be nominated.
I don't think so.
How
It
many
does not.
times,
I was
can you remix the
insulted.
Imperial March? Come on, guys.
Well, there's
Right,
there's
exactly.
new themes for like Rey and Finn and stuff.
I don't count them. I do not count them. I
Damn.
didn't like
All
any
right.
of it.
I'll go with Hateful
Alright.
Eight on your recommendation.
Okay.
Alright.
Makeup and
I'm gonna go the 100-Year-Old Man
Revenant.
behind that just because that sounds like what's gonna win.
makeup and hairstyling, making Charlize Theron bald, burnt head, or stabbing a knife in blood and guts in Leonardo.
So we still have a lot to go. So we want to skip foreign film because we haven't all seen
Yeah.
probably any of them. Film editing. Mad
Editing.
Max.
Big Short. I'm watching that right now. It's very quick pace documentary, rough around the edges. A lot of shots are out of focus. Then they come into focus, and I'll go with film editing. Big Short.
We want to skip documentaries because
I want to say Spotlight for film editing. I don't know why, I just am.
I saw the documentary features. I've seen Amy in Cartel Land. Amy is. You guys gotta watch that documentary. That was. I didn't know anything about Amy Winehouse really, like personal, like who she was. I know a couple songs, but after watching that, I mean, it's up there with those. It's up there with those really highly accoladed Kurt Cobain documentaries. Like just kind of hit you hard in the gut. Like, man, that like she had a great life. She had
did that Kurt Cobain documentary come out this year?
The one, okay, so there's the Montage of Heck on HBO. Recommend that one.
No, there's the other one.
The one about
Netflix.
Yes,
No.
soaked in bleach.
It's not even that one. Kurt
and Courtney.
Cobain. There's a real
Soaked in Bleach is the one about the whole like Courtney Love murder conspiracy. Montage of Heck is the HBO one that came out last year, I think.
Okay, maybe I saw that one, and that ended like, well, I guess they all end with his death, but it had that long stretch that like of him doing like heroin with his girlfriend in the apartment, the VHS clips.
Yep, that's Montage of Heck.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was great.
Yep.
Why wasn't that not nominated? That was one of the best documentaries I've seen.
I don't know. Maybe.
Interesting.
I will note though, a Netflix original series is Winter of On Fire is up for an Oscar. That's pretty cool.
Dope. All right, so best directing. Do we want to do that now? I think that's gonna go to Mad Max for what's his name?
Best director George Miller.
Miller, yeah, George Miller.
I'm gonna go with Alejandro.
The 2P.
I'm going. I don't know.
Although Adam McKay was a pretty good director too.
I'm gonna do Spotlight. I think.
All right, that's a good one.
All right.
Costume design. I'm gonna go.
Mad Max.
Danish Girl again.
Cinderella.
Okay. Cinematography. Oof.
Oh, Revenant.
I wish it was Sicario.
Yeah, Sicario's pretty dope, but I think
wish it
Revenant.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with
I'm
Chivo.
going to do Sicario.
All right.
Roger Deakins. He's been nominated for 13 Oscars. Roger Deakins.
How many?
No wins.
No, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No wins.
Insane.
Shawshank Redemption. Like how did he not win that?
God.
No Country
All
for
right, animated feature. I gotta go Inside Out.
I'm going Anomalisa.
Okay.
Anomalisa.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Inside Out.
Charlie Kaufman wrote Animal.
Lead
Anomalisa.
actress. I'm gonna go. What's her name?
Brie Larson.
This is supporting. I'm gonna go Alicia Vikander just because I like her.
Kate Winslet. Why not? No, Jennifer Jason Leigh for sure.
For Hateful Eight. I'll go with Alicia for Danish Girl.
Vikander.
Supporting actress.
And then supporting.
Tom Hardy.
Stallone. I'm going Stallone.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going Stallone.
All right. Well, you're gonna be left in the dust when Tom Hardy wins for The Revenant.
I want Tom Hardy to win. And I think Stallone's gonna win.
Was he that good in Creed?
I think he's like the one that everyone's like, yeah, get Stallone the supporting actor. I think Tom Hardy should win because he was great in that, and I'm gonna change my mind. I'm going Tom Hardy.
I think all the supporting roles are gonna be very surprising. I don't think they're gonna be fan favorites. They're gonna be like Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, wait, who? What? What did he do?
All right, actress leading role. I'm going Brie Larson for Room.
Oh, let me put mine on the record for supporting role. I'm going
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
Hardy. Tom Hardy,
Okay.
sorry. Sorry,
Brie.
Okay, so
I'm being slow.
Okay.
triple down on actor and supporting role.
Okay.
Actress and leading role.
Actress
Brie
and
Larson.
leading.
Brie Larson.
Yeah. She's got all the buzz.
Yeah. Actor and leading role.
Sorry,
to be honest, I'm not saying.
Saoirse Ronan, Brooklyn. I'm gonna go with
Okay,
her.
that's very actress.
Lead actress. Lead
Actor.
actor. Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Eddie Redmayne, Michael Fassbender, Bryan Cranston.
Have any of you seen
Denzel
Trumbo? I've never heard of it.
Oh.
For what? Which one? Have you not heard of
Trumbo?
Trumbo? It's like it's a kind of a biopic about some writer who probably got accused of being a communist, and I think he wrote for Disney or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
There is
okay.
no black people nominated for anything. That is shocking.
Do you have time?
I do not have time to talk about that.
We can go as three white guys. We can go into
I know.
the why there are no
Yeah.
black people.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Discussion.
I think it's ridiculous. I think that at least the guy for
We might have
that
to do a
played
sub after.
Easy should have been nominated. But anyways, I'm going Leo for lead. Best Picture.
Leo. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
I'm going Eddie Redmayne, but I wish Leo. God, they're gonna give it to. They're gonna pull a Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. All right, and then
Okay.
Best Picture. Ooh.
Best
Okay, I'm
Picture.
gonna actually think about this one.
So we have Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max, Spotlight, Room, The Revenant, and The Martian.
It's the three that I have are Mad Max, Revenant, or Spotlight. I'm gonna go with.
Best Picture.
I'm
And
going Spotlight. I'm going
let's-
Spotlight.
Let's expand some time for this. Why Spotlight Best Picture? Or are you just guessing?
That's a guess because it has a good amount of like buzz with it. Obviously, I think the logistics of putting Mad Max together was insane. I think Bridge of Spies is in there because I'm sure it's a decent movie. I haven't seen it, unfortunately. Spielberg's just the GOAT.
Yeah, it's got Spielberg's name on it. Yeah.
The Big Short, I think, is a possibility because it won the PGA nomination, which everyone kind of threw. And then The Revenant is, I mean, that's got a lot of buzz. So, but I think Spotlight. I think that's gonna take it just because I think it has a lot to say. I mean, I didn't see it, but I think the issue that it's tackling was pretty relevant. Because what was in it? It was about the priests that were like fondling children or like boys and stuff.
Okay.
So I
It's
think
about the
that's
whole
like
Catholic sex offender. Yeah, scandals.
It's like the team that uncovered that. So I think that's like relevant, and it's usually something that has something to say that wins.
Our Academy Award members, are they Catholic? I mean,
A good majority of like
They may
Hollywood
shut
is
it down.
pretty. A good majority of Hollywood is like doesn't have any religious affiliation. So
we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Best Picture can be the most political decision. And oftentimes it may not be the best movie on its own in the sense of like this was the best story, plot, cinematography, but sometimes like what the effects are or the message or the political motivation behind it.
I'll do it, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Oh, okay. That's the bold prediction. I hope
Yeah.
you're right. I hope you're right, man. But I'm going Spotlight.
I'm gonna go. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go Revenant. I think with all the hype from previous awards and just like the grandiose of it,
Mhm.
I think it can win Best Picture.
Cool.
All right. With
Although
that,
there's no political
That is
motivation behind
that
it.
is our Oscars and catch up on Chris's project show.
yeah, that's
So-
it.
Yep. All right.
Nope.
Let's wrap up the show. Okay, so I'm gonna be on Anchor on Sunday, like just watching these Oscars and just like blabbing out like, oh, that's bullshit. Like, just,
Yeah.
No way. So find us on Anchor. Find me on Anchor. You guys gonna be on Anchor?
I'm gonna be on
Yes.
Anchor, I think. Yeah.
All right, let's
I'll be
start
on
let's start a mini Oscar discussion somehow on Anchor.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So follow us on Anchor. I'm at Valley Films, Valley_Films, and where are you guys? What are your
I'm just
tags?
at Troy Nikolic, like on every social media thing.
I don't think I have a username. Like, do you look up by name or username on there?
I think it's
I don't
linked
know.
with your Twitter.
Yeah, so
Oh,
whatever.
okay. So yeah, it would be with my Twitter is then. Okay. So yeah, that's all good.
Sweet.
I don't think I've. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
there,
there's
yeah.
gotta be.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, so there's gotta be. Maybe they'll do like a trending like hashtag Oscars or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, let's wrap up the show. Thank you all for listening to Your Film and Playground podcast, Oscar special. You can listen back to this episode. This will be out Monday, so you can listen back to see if we were right about our predictions. Should we? Is there cash involved? Whoever wins, whoever gets the most points,
Just a good old pat on the back.
maybe a bottle of cheap champagne or something.
Yeah, exactly. Ship them via Amazon or something.
Yep.
All right. Well,
There we
let's.
go.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We are out, and we'll catch you next time on Your Film with Playground podcast.
Dope. All right.
Peace.
Peace.